Welcome to the Dream, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Damashi, and we're back for some more Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access Patch 4 Druid. And Gale has a story to tell us. Again, more dialogue options would be nice. You don't sound very happy there, Gale. Is something wrong? Do you mind? I like some peace and quiet. You don't seem very happy there, Gale.
Happiness is like a stray cat. Sometimes it seeks you out, sometimes it ignores you. Tonight I'm ignored. It's getting late. I think I'll turn in. Perhaps some sleep will do me good.
They say you should never go to bed angry. Ever the mystery man, aren't you? Suit yourself. Good night. They say you should never go to bed angry.
Isn't that advice for couples? The only one I'm angry with is myself. Please, just let it rest.
Come, you know I care about you. I showed you when we shared that spell. Insight? We shared the wheat the other night. Now share what's on your mind. Persuasion. I'm the leader of this party. I need to know what's going on. Thwart, intimidation. You will tell me, and you'll tell me now. Fine, I'll let it rest. This is what I want to see for every interaction in the game. The variety of dialogue options here is good. Come, you know I care about you. I showed you when we shared that spell.
So you did. Very well. Just now I was trying to cast a spell I once cast with ease, but I failed. You see, this fire, there was a time that I could make it come alive, that it would take the shape of a dragon and roar in delight. There was a time I could silence a beholder with a word and lift a tower from its foundations with a flourish. There was a time I was all but one with the weave. But no more. A mere shadow of the wizard I used to be. Why? Because I've lost.
I don't understand. What is it that you've lost? Who are you? If this is meant to be suspenseful, I assure you it's not. It disappoints me that right after having a plethora of good options, we have 3. And I'm gonna do the cliche, who are you?
I am the man who came after having lost.
It's alright, you don't have to tell me. Insight, go on. Every burden is easier when carried. I'm gonna go with persuasion. You can tell me, you can trust me. Or dialogue options. I was about to say, if I fail this, I'm going to use my inspiration. I'm not in the mood to reload.
I've lost Mistra. I sought to impress her personally, to turn the eyes of my muse upon me, to win favor of a goddess. But I failed, and all I invoked was death and dismissal. My death, her dismissal.
I'm sorry for you. I don't know what to make of what you've told me, but I sympathize. Another fool pays for his arrogance. A tale as old as time. Not gonna say the thing that I usually say. I'm just gonna... The dialogue options that should be here will simply appear on screen. We're gonna go with 2. I don't know what to make of what you've told me, but I sympathize.
Thank you. You're a good friend. I often think of that moment we shared together. One under the weave. I'm glad to know you think about it too.
I Want to Live kicked in at the perfect time. I love that song. That song's so good. Bobby, your music's great. Gonna have Shadowheart go off on her own little adventure here. And I'll see what stat I need to buff in a second.
Another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp, for whenever thou hast need of my services.
Care to explain why you're helping me?
Be assured, it is not by choice.
Not to be rude, but what are you?
There are many answers to that question. None are important.
Okay, wisdom is what we need. Okay, so switch to me. Gonna buff up Shadowheart's wisdom. I can't remember which one. Charisma, intelligence, wisdom. There it is. Be nice if the game auto-walked me over here. When I click on a character's portrait to cast a spell. There we go. Hoo boy! It's gonna take some doing. One short! Ugh! That is not what I wanted to see.
There is great divine energy indeed, but the source is unclear.
Okay, so I'm gonna reload until I can get that roll to happen and succeed. So I want to show that off. Okay, I'm back. This time I actually have advantage. So hopefully we succeed. We did! First try.
He has a divine aspect, yes. A reflection of death itself. Eternal and inescapable.
All that power. Are you a god's chosen?
I shall answer no further questions in that regard.
Later, Jergal. I really hope that they add Great Old One patrons as things that you can select. And I hope that in the final game that we could select a... if we pick a Great Old One Warlock, we can select Kazif as our patron. Because it is implied that Jergal created Kazif, or Kazef, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce that, and I think that getting to talk to him about it would be fascinating. Because, you know, Jergal is right there in our camp. Alright, is there anyone else we need to talk to before we head out on the road again?
I suppose you want to hear about Cazador.
That's not why I walked up to you, but sure. You don't have to tell me anything you don't want to.
I don't want to say a damned thing, but that won't do anyone any good.
Glad you realized that.
Is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate, the patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor.
So you were his slave? How were you turned? Did he attack you? Tormentor, what did he do? Tormentor, what did he do?
He had me go out into Baldur's Gate to fetch him the most beautiful souls I could find. It was a fun little ritual of his. I'd bring them back, and he'd ask if I wanted to dine with him. And if I said yes, he'd serve me a dead, putrid rat. Of course, if I said no, he'd have me flayed. Hard to say which was worse.
Also, I want to point out, vampires can't eat things that are already dead. So Astarion's been starving. Like, really bad. Like, it actually hurts them to eat things that aren't alive. In fact, I may show that off later. That sounds terrible, I'm so sorry. You're free now. Enjoy that freedom. Quite the sob story, but what's your point? I kinda don't want to say any of these. But I guess I'll go with you're free. No, that sounds terrible, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there, and they might not be the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows.
Will do. I'll watch your back, don't worry. You keep me safe, I'll do the same. Oh no, my friend. If vampires come looking for you, you're on your own. I like 3. A couple more dialogue options. Generally, what I would say is the baseline for every interaction should be 5 dialogue options. And then any additional options can come from race or class or background or things that you've done. But I think the baseline, the very base, should always be 5. You keep me safe, I'll do the same.
What more could I ask? Now, is that all?
Okay, we actually have a lot to talk about with Astarion. What do you make of Raphael's deal?
I won't lie. It's tempting. If I keep the tadpole, I risk transforming into a grotesque monster. If I lose the tadpole, Cazador has control of me, body and soul, and I return to the shadows. It's grim either way. So why not sell what's left of my soul to a devil? Better he has it than Cazador.
We have other options, better options. I understand the appeal. You're trading one master for another, you'll be a slave either way. We have other options, better options.
Figuring out what's happening to us, confronting a god called the Absolute, and then finding time to kill my old master before he can control me once more? Yes, that's an option, but I wouldn't bet eternity on it.
What's your let's say... So about last night.
I've already apologized. What more do you want? Unless you're looking for another nibble.
Maybe later. I need to know how we'll feed you in the future. Just a warning, try that again and I'll destroy you. I'll say too, maybe later?
Maybe. But there won't be any more midnight surprises. I can promise you that.
I still like to have the option to ask him, so how are we going to feed you? I think how are we going to feed you should still be an option that I should be able to ask. So, how does someone become a vampire exactly?
It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet.
And I hope that
In
Vampire Spawn
theory,
becomes
the
an
next
option for
step is to
custom
drink
characters
them.
in the future, along with
Once you've done that, you're free.
werewolves and other lycanthrope things, because I love werewolves. Especially how they're treated in D&D, I think they're awesome. You'd have to drink Cazador's blood to be free?
Free and a true vampire, capable of creating my own coven. Yes. Although, I'd settle for just killing the bastard. I wouldn't be a true vampire, but I'd be free of him.
What's your priority right now?
And clearly the tadpole. If we can't understand it, we'll never control it. And I'm not about to hand control of my life from a vampire lord to those slimy grey beasts.
Tell me about your history.
Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again.
An option that I'd like to ask after having asked him that is, tell me about the Tsar family. I'd also like the option to ask the other origin characters how they feel about Astarion being a vampire, as well as I'd like to ask everyone about their opinions on each other. Alright, so we're done with him for the moment. Let's talk to Shadowheart.
Something the matter?
Nope. Okay, time to move. Let's mosey. Alright, so the next thing we're gonna do in this part is, I think, some grove shenanigans.
You seemed quite forward with your compliments earlier. We'd only just met.
Seize the day, I say. More now than ever.
Wow, Shadowheart, I am right here.
The muscle in your haste.
Can I talk about this? When I am right nearby? Thanks. So, I was cutting to, till I got back to where Kagha is, but I clicked on Arabella, and we got some stuff. So, I'm gonna bring up the chat log. I never gonna hear the end of this. If I got that stupid idol, I'd be a hero. You were caught, and you could have been killed. What kind of hero do you expect to be? No, you'd be a thief. What kind of hero did you expect to be?
A heroic thief? Mum? Dad? Mole? They all would have been so impressed. Mole said we had to do something, because the old folks weren't doing anything. They were talking when the Druids were getting ready to throw us out. Why can't we just stay in until it's safe?
Anyway, let's get back to Kagha. I likely added in the dialogue options that I think should have been there in post. So, I normally don't do this, but I thought it'd be fun to do the Grove quest as it was intended. Let's read this Wellspring plaque.
By claw and tooth, from root to thorn, the old oak's grove to wildlings sworn. You recognize the Druids as elders of a circle. This place is a divine sanctuary.
Are there any more plaques? There are. I'm reading the plaques in the wrong order. Let's start from here.
The forest rose with claw and tooth to tear the darkness from its roots. Druidic orders often fight dark forces, but you do not recognize the events depicted here. The mural depicts a purge, a sacred cleansing of the land on a scale you've never seen before.
Alright, we read that plaque already. It is time to head into here. So, normally I don't do this. Normally I don't go into, Kagha's quarters. Where's the Rite of Thorns? So... What? No, it's not... Oh my god. So in Divinity Original Sin 2, read would not be read. But it is, for whatever reason. And it's kind of a problem. Because in order to read any of this stuff, we have to sneak around. So, let's read the Rite of Thorns. Another book here. Open the stacked books. Oh. Another thing. Emerald Enclave's tenets, but I can't... This is why there should be a highlight of all the items, because I can't see them. Okay, here we go. Order must be preserved, no matter its form. The forces that would disrupt the natural order must be destroyed. The Emerald Enclave must offer aid to weary and injured. I am actually going to take this. So Kagha is actually breaking that third rule. let's read this. Is there a plaque here? Okay, so here's Kagha's chest, which for whatever reason isn't counting as stealing. I'm gonna take this gold. And it's contraband, because I need it. There's some books here. Oh, interesting. I have never... I think I will read this one aloud. The guild seal on the inside of this cover belongs to a printmaking collective in Baldur's Gate. Of course I remember. Knew the second that girl was walking that she'd be trouble. Little thief, always in everyone's business. And that ward of Gorian, went right along with her. No surprise the wicked god's blood was running in their veins. Anonymous Candlekeep. Saravok and his love and his lot are always the first ones that come to mind. You know, this all started with a bit of iron in Nishkel? Nishkel? I think. Ashkel? I forget how to pronounce it. Everyone thought their weapons would rot out of their hands back then. I thought the problem was bad trade. Never took the man for a son of Baal. You dare speak that name to me? My mistress was turned to ash fighting those forsaken wretches. I curse Baal. I curse Ironicus, and I curse you. Hostile Vampire Akatla slums. Let's see. The five tore tear to pieces. I don't think anyone expected more ball spawn showing up would fix the war that a pack of them started. Then again, they were all inclined to killing each other, eh? Good riddance. Here's hoping every last one of them has been wiped off the face of Faerun. Not authorized to be talking about any murder with someone like you. Take it up with Sea Tower if you want to argue, but honestly, who cares if a ball spawn got it stuck to them? Their father's the killing type, after all. I have never seen this before. Candlekeep Missive. So I'll read that as well. Oh. Hi. Didn't see you there. Did I take all of those books on accident? I did. Let's read this missive. I'm not gonna read this one aloud. I'm just gonna leave it on screen. Now that I have seen these, I have a question. Why were those books in this room? So, I don't know if I should be talking about it. So, there's been more than just Mink's data mined. A certain Druid has been data mined to be in Act 1 as well. And she's data mined to maybe be here. And I'm starting to think that might be why those books are there. Because they're hers.
Something the matter?
I didn't mean to talk to you, Shadowheart. So, we're gonna do one last thing and then we're gonna end the part. And that involves the Kagha chest. Is it this way? I may cut about until I figure out how to get to that chest. This is my first time going after the chest. I normally just do the Kagha quest without learning about it. Okay, so I saw it from here. Right? Oh, I am blind. I can just... There was a ledge here. There we go. Kagha, do you happen to have the key to your chest on you? That I could, you know, steal if need be. With Astarion, because he's gonna be better at it. Where are you, Kagha? Hopefully the rats are not looking in this direction when I stealth. Okay, good. So we're gonna take this key. Astarion, don't botch this roll. Of course you botched it. Okay, so we're gonna reload. Okay, so let's not do it that way. Oh dear. Alright, let's just do this the safe way. Lockpicking impossible. Well, I'm gonna need the key. So the alternative I could do is just break the chest. But that's so uncivilized. So I guess I will have to steal that key because lockpicking this is impossible. Even though I don't see why it should be. Knock is a low-level spell, right? Knock should be in the game and I should be able to just cast Knock on that chest. Until then, I'm going to save and reload until I can get that key without making a ruckus. Alright, so I was very confused for about 5 minutes and I had to look it up. This chest can't be lockpicked, and it can't be opened, and I have Kagha's key in my inventory right now. So, I don't know what's going on here with this chest, but we're gonna have to break it open, of course. So, gonna take a bit. This is a bit silly. Hopefully, in the next patch, it'll be fixed, and you can just simply, you know... Oh my god. I'm gonna have to pick up this fucking chest. I can't pick it up. Will you get out of here? Can you, like, go someplace else, please? Alright, so... I don't know how to deal with this. Maybe ink blot? Did it cast it without me asking it to? Will you go away? What? Why? Go away! Okay. I guess the alternative now is for me to start bashing it open? I guess, with my, my staff, because it's a blunt weapon. Leave that be. Go away! I'm breaking a chest is what I'm doing. This is really dumb. And hopefully they fix this soon. Aptor Note. And Shadow Druids. Right. We learn the location of where to progress Kagha's quest without stumbling upon it by accident. And we've learned a bit about the Shadow Druids. So I'm curious what happens if we talk to Kagha right now.
Away! I have no more need of you.
Oh, leave. Alright, I don't know what we're gonna do next part, but we're gonna leave until then. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please like the video, comment down below, share the video around, and subscribe to the channel, because it tells me you like my content and want me to keep making it. It also helps the channel grow. Until next time, later.